Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, it's a little bit windy today, and let's have a look at a winter December tour 2023. I've repaired the cabbage cage this morning. I did a little video on time management, how I try and get things done in a certain amount of time, try and complete them, because sometimes we can digress and do other jobs. The raspberry canes, they're just dying off nicely now. This wind that we've recently had has blown everything about. We lost the sheets on here once during one of the storms, but one of my viewers mentioned about covering them up properly, so I did. We all learn from each other, so remember to check out the comments, because the comments are where we learn the most, not by me rambling on like a silly fool. This month we tidied up the rhubarb. These are the summer fruiting canes. We trimmed the tops to encourage some side growth. Slowly getting down the 3,800 litres of found compost. The manure's doing okay. It's steaming. There's lots of worms. There was that many worms actually that I moved them to the other side, and we continually harvest the manure runoff. We've done a little test on some of my green manure beans on plot 3. We've now got 300 litres of manure runoff. This bin is now empty. I can start collecting again, and some of the worms I've put in here. So basically I've uncovered the mesh that stops the debris coming through into the hole. There's a few worms there, but I've added some more manure, and there's lots of worms in it, so they're now ready. They're waiting patiently to fill this bin up. And this one then will start flowing, but I will try and keep it separate for now until I see whether the manure that I've been collecting is contaminated or not. If it's contaminated, well, we're stuffed anyway, because we've already used some on these beds. I think it's a chance we take sometimes. I need to uncover all this. It's throwing a little bit of shade onto the raspberries. Never did manage to clean them up. That's been lying there since I built these beds, and as you can see there, the green manures are doing okay, and the Andermatt netting, silly me. Let's show all my viewers my labels. I've made 2 holes in the net, guys, but overall these Andermatt netting, the links are in the description below, have done very well. Just personal abuse. We tidied up our asparagus, cut it off, and we've left it there for the winter. Birds and the mice can have the berries. And it'll add a little bit of cover for any creatures that wish to use it. We've already spoken about how much rain we've had, and because of all that, that pallet collar has decided to collapse. So we might just need to make some adjustments there when it's dried out a bit. This year's runners from the strawberries, they're desperate to be planted in the cabbage cage. We cleaned all these up, and as you can see, they do look a little bit better, but these beds are sinking all the time, so we might dig these up, put some more compost in, fasten the plastic up. You can see it's just been dragged down because of the weight. Easily sorted. We spent some time in here just to get all this tidy and ready for the spring. Time management, just do a little bit at a time. managed to get the new tap on the comfrey bin, and I believe at this moment in time it's not leaking. We mulched. We're not collecting very many leaves, and we've topped this up with leaves as well, and there's no rat activity at the moment, but no doubt they'll want somewhere to keep warm, and then they can dig it over for me. All this soil that we've collected from another part of the allotment, we'll show you next, is still there. We need to clear all this, find new homes. We've not touched the leaf mould this year. We can let it sit there and do its thing. We've tidied up the comfrey, the Vegega beds. They're all been put to bed for the winter, and this is where we've been getting the soil from where we grew our condor potatoes. All those new beds have had the manure, so again we'll see. I need to move that last bit of soil when it dries out enough. Get some more three more barrels there, and maybe move the IBC over so that we can use that over this side on this allotment. As you can see now, we've got plenty of room here for when we do get any autumn leaves, if my body ever lets me again. But we've got a few wood chips there left to put on the paths. The wood chips have lasted really well considering the weather, but it still makes nice to walk on, especially when you've got the Fitville winter boots on, keeping my feet nice and toasty. The links for those are in the description below, and I'm wearing them all the time, guys. One of the best things that I've had sent me to review. I try and collect my rubbish and take my rubbish away as often as possible. Just saves too much clutter, but I will need a good spring clean or a winter spring clean, one of the two, to tidy up a lot of this mess. It isn't mess, it's all useful, but it needs its proper place. And I'm thinking about taking this IBC out, moving it over to plot 1, and all these other water containers. I never used any of that water last year because of the amount I've got in the blue barrels, but I need more storage space for the things that we find or get given to us. And the spaces that I have got, I can't get in. The poor old wood around the sink, I think that's swelled up now to double its size. We have the new sink to put somewhere. We'll make a nice frame for that won't be affected. This morning I've also tidied all these up, got the manure in, and just covered them with cardboard to protect the worms while they do their bit. And there we have all our potatoes that we're overwintering, and we harvest those as and when we need them, hopefully before they start chitting. It's cooler now, so hopefully the potatoes will be damp enough not to go rotten, and damp enough not to chit and go soft, because if they get too dry they'll just shrivel up. Made a fluff of that, didn't I, guys? You always get what you see with me. I don't edit. Green manures, these are the first ones that we planted. This is where we've done the test with the liquid manure, half and half, so we've done half this side. So if we don't see any difference, I'll be wondering whether it's worth saving the liquid. But remember, if you have a manure pile or a compost pile, all those juices just drain away into the ground, and you never get to physically use them. That's why I've got my compost bins, my temporary compost bins on the beds. And it certainly has worked. When you come to the allotment and you think, well, I'm going to do a little job, I'll use those spare scaffold planks to do a job. The allotment saw I only leave things here that I can afford to lose, and it doesn't cut very well. It's a bit of a struggle when the scaffold planks are damp, and there's all my safe screws that I collect when I remove them. But that's how these 3 square foot gardening beds are going to look like in the future. I spent an hour this morning before I started filming this, so it's surprising what you can get done. Temporary compost bins, we use those on that bed over there where we've got the purple sprouting, claret sprouting broccoli, and they've gone mad, too mad. They're all covered up now to protect them from the pigeons. Not sure whether they'll do any good because they just grew that big and that tall that they just flopped over, and hopefully they've got enough roots in the ground to survive and produce a crop. And it looks like we will have some sprouts. The cauliflowers did not like the cold frosts and snow we had. Even though they're small, they would have been very nice on one's plate. And this one is the Graffiti F1, the purple variety. I don't think I can convince Mrs. K to cook that. Still been adding some liquid manure to the parsnip beds. Those pipes go down to the manure layer, the original manure layer. So by putting the liquid runoff down those tubes, the parsnips can go and find it next summer. And hopefully that good parsnip will still be there, nice and clean, ready for Christmas, the Christmas morning vegetable harvest. The fruit cage is just looking a little bit needing some loving care, but we can do that when we prune everything back. But everything seems to work well because I'm growing it upright, not in the goblet type growing methods. And I had some impressive crops this year, 2023. These can all be pruned back just after Christmas into the new year. Don't forget the Christmas morning vegetable harvest reveal at 8 AM, and then we'll have the King's speech at 3 PM, an alternative message to the gardening community. If you like the content of this video, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction, and definitely leave me a comment if you can. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.